and maybe in between. Oh, like you mentioned, we'll be um showing it on the screen. So you remember for loop, right? And you know how it works. Um, it's accessed every object, each and every object in an array. Yeah. Um, it literally says, give me each item in this array. Each item in this array. Yeah. So that is what fall off loop does. And we started with the for loop itself, which is this block from line 8 to line 11. Oh my God. I, sorry. I thought I was. Can you see my screen now? Right. So this for loop literally says, give me each item. The for off loop, like I've highlighted on line one, that I've commented out on line one. It says, give me each item. Um, while a for loop is a controlled counter, it runs a code a specific number of times. Meaning it is flexible. You can limit the number of times it runs. You can say, okay, run this on this array. I want it to run only 5 times. On this array, I want it to run only 2 times. You get. So, and this is an example here. We are saying it should start from 5 and it should go to 10. So it means it's going to skip zero. It's going to skip 0 to 4, and it's going to start from 5. That is how flexible it is. You can use it to assess an element in an array just by its index. You can start with this by saying, oh, let I is equal to 2, and that means you're going to start the iteration of the array from 2. You would skip 0 and 1, and just like it is there, I'll show this on the screen now. Let me comment out every other thing so that. Oh, correct, correct. That's correct. Wow. Yeah, yeah. It was 5 to 9. And if we should say, if we should change the sign here to less than or equal to, you will see it will stop at 10. You get, you get. That's very good. Let's go. That's that's how it is done. Um, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the tab where I opened this last time. Um, I think I did it. Okay, yeah. Let me try and connect it. What the fuck? If this one making notes. Sorry, it was. What was I trying to do? Okay, I'm trying to link the HTML into the. Should we put inside the to do? Let's put inside this loop. Um, for loop.js. Yeah, for loop.js. Sorry. Uh, oh. 41. What's it saying? Oh, there are other things down here that we didn't. Yeah. Can you see? Can you see my screen? It's starting from 5 to 9. That is how flexible it is. It is whatever you want that you ask it to do. You can also ask it to go down. That whenever um 5 is less than, wait, that will be whenever 5 is less than 10. Yeah, this will keep. Let's see what it outputs. Can you see? This is what I was telling you the other day. Can you see to keep running? Can you see this? Yeah, that's the only way I could have stopped it. And then I quickly closed um the tab. You can also close it using force quit. There you force quit it, or you have to turn off your laptop totally. It's still running. Yeah, it's still going to be running. So what we would have done was um this would be 10, and whenever I is less than 0, then it should stop. I think that should work. I think that's a right good boundary there. Let's see. What's the name? I hope it's not running mad. Oh, what's going on? Why is it not doing anything? Whenever I is less than or equal to 0, it's not looked at this. What's wrong? What have we missed? Uh, it almost That's how crazy the shit is. So you get my point here. It's That's how flexible it is. We can do it. It works both ways. So um, let's explain what we've just done. What the O block does. So this is the block. This is how it works. It starts from the initialization, which is where you create the variable. You get, yeah. And like I mentioned the last time, the variable can be anything. It can be count. It can be anything, just anything. But to simplify how the block looks, you use like just an alphabet, you know. Yeah. And here is the condition. The second part of the block is the condition. Here you write the condition. And here it is increment. We were actually meant to start with increment, but I was just showing you how flexible it works. I was like, I think I was going to um too fast. You guess. Well, yeah, it is either increment or increment. We've gone there already. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying, right? And this is it. So if it were to be decrement, it would be this. Do you understand? So this can either be decrements. But let's focus on increments. Do you understand? So initialization, this is like let count equal to zero, just like let I equal to zero. Then the condition, whenever I is less than 10, you understand? And the increments, keep adding one until the condition is met. You get? And it goes just like this block, like we mentioned, it starts with initialization, the condition, and increments. And we're trying to understand the flow, what it does um on each loop. So the first round goes as initializing the variable with zero, and whenever zero is less than three, um it is still zero, but before moving on to the next um loop, we increase it to one. And on the second round, it starts with one, it sets it as one. If we should have used const here, it should have thrown an error. Let's try that so you see what I'm talking about. So you understand, like it is also because it is like a let variable. That's why it works very fine there. Yeah, because here we are resetting it. Do you understand? And you can't reset a constant. You can't reassign a constant, I mean. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's see. Can you see? Invalid left hand side as in the assignment. Do you understand? That's because we try to use a constant. So that's just to explain that, um, we are reassigning. And it is even on the first loop that it threw the error. After it's completed it, then it threw the error. But yeah. So that is how that works. And the second round does just what we're trying to explain. It reassigns um, the variable and increases it by one, and it compares it to three, and does the same thing until it gets to the third round. The third round also does the same thing and increases it. But that we've set like a constraint, we've set like a condition that whenever it is less than three, so it is going to stop. So immediately it does this, it is going to try to move to the fourth round. But when it gets to the fourth round, it should have increased it to three. And three is not less than three. Three is equal to three. So that means the fourth round won't go, it will stop after increasing it. Just after increasing it to stop, the loop stops. Do you get? Yeah. So um I think I was also trying to explain something here. The difference why we use this inequality sign instead of this. Okay. You remember, right? The less than sign instead of the less than or equal to whenever we are dealing with an array. Okay, I'll go over it. So, I mean, you already mentioned it, but I'll just um re re-explain it. So you see, when we say I is lesser than three, you see, this is what it returns. It it runs only three times, and the three times it runs, it starts from index zero. It starts from zero. But when we do this, would you like to see this explanations on the screen? Okay. Yeah. And this one runs four times because we are saying whether it is less than or equal to it, then so it runs four times and does this. And why this matters in for arrays is because arrays are zero based. Do you understand? Zero based in the sense that the first item or whatever is stored in an array starts from index zero. Sure you get. So now apple here is zero, banana is one, orange is two. There is no index zero. There is no index three, I mean. There's only index two. Index two um is the highest index in the array. And what is fruit dot length? What is the length of this fruit array? Yes. No, the length. Length is different from index. Yeah, so what's the length? Good. Are you guessing what I'm saying now? So if we want to look through this array now, we would say for let I equal to zero, what will be the condition? Since we want to look through this array, what will be the condition? What will be the so what is three? We can't just put a random number. It's can it's can Yeah. So what are we going to use here? We are going to use the fruit that is length to serve as a constraint. And it is three. One, two, three. That's the fruit dot length. So yeah, you get what I'm saying now. So when we just do this, what did you say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you remember bracket notation now. So this is we are using bracket notation here. We can't use the dot notation. Except we can use the dot notation only if we are trying to access an element, a property inside of the array. Like maybe, okay, this doesn't even have any properties. It's not an object. Sorry, it's not an array of objects. It's just like an array with its properties. So there's nothing to access there. Do you get what I mean? This is just an array of fruits. It is not an object. It is not grouping any data. That is why we are not saying fruit index dot name. That's why we are not doing this. If it were to be an array of objects, let's say let student equal to and name equal to uh do. Here we would have to say student index name. Mm. Let's not do that yet. Let's not confuse it. Let's first finish with this. Okay. So we are dealing with fruits here. So we are assessing the fruits in the array of fruits. using the dot notation and the index. This index we are using now, an array is zero based, and we are starting from zero here. So fruits bracket zero, the first one will be apple. Fruits bracket one, the second one will be, let's console it and say, let's say um I. Do you understand what I did there? I'm trying to use the templates literal to write JavaScript um and a string together, right? Yeah. I'm trying to put a variable here and a string. Yeah. Template literal, yeah, yeah, yeah. You get what I mean, right? Do you? What I'm doing here. You know how template literals work? They allow you to write normal strings and um perhaps a number or something that is a variable together. You already know it. This that you write like this, that you start with a backtick and you use the dollar sign. Do you know it now? Have you been taught? So yeah. So they allow for multi-line strings interpolation with embedded expressions, and this is big English, but yeah, it just allows you to write something that is. I thought you guys knew it already though. So it allows interpolation such as writing expressions like a string, like a variable, like this variable here. Like imagine you want to write let's say const name equal to Joe. I want to write const description equal to my name is. You see, you're trying to use this name here, but you can't use it because you are using the string quotes, the normal string quotes. To do this, you have to use like the template literals. This is what would allow you write it like that. So you used the dollar sign and this. No, this name is not. I think it's you can't use name like this in JavaScript. It relates to something else. So let's use student's name. Student's name is this. Do you understand now? Are you there? So yeah, we either do this or we concatenate it. So you get my point now. So it is just serving the same purpose. I could have also done this. Yeah, I could have concatenated it. Yeah. So you get, so it is just another approach to getting things done. And that's how it happens in the software industry. There are so many approaches to, to get things done. So it is just whichever way work for you while ensuring that performance is considered. You feel me? So can you see? Oh, index. Let me put. equal to sign. Yeah, can you see? So apple is index 0, banana is index 1, orange is index 2. So do you so you get the whole points now. But if we say uh fruits index 3, let's even just say fruits index 3. You see, it is undefined because there is no property of the array that has the index 3. You feel me? It is literally out of bound. There is nothing like that. So we use the less than um we use the this sign, the less than sign, less than length, and not less than or equal to length because arrays start at 0. You get length. Let's say length tells you how many items. Uh, because the last index is always length minus 1. The last index is always length minus 1. Do you understand that? This last one, which is length of 3, is going to be minus 1. Oh, what am I trying to say? The index of this one is going to be length minus 1. The last property of this array is always the index is always going to be the length minus 1, which is what I'm trying to say here. The last index is always length minus 1. Orange will always be 2, and length is 3. Yeah, so it is always 3 minus 1. If it is 20, no, if it is 20 items that are inside the array, the last element to be 19, to be 20 minus 1. Did you get me? Yeah. So um so you use the for loop when you need the index number. When you need this index, there are times you will need it when you're writing some logic. When you need this index, when you need the index in an array, you use the for loop. Do you understand? Yeah, and sometimes when you want to skip items, you might want to skip an item. You might want to skip like even items. Maybe you want to be going in twos. You get like okay after every two item. You get that will be 2, 4, 6, 8. You get. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. And when you also want to decrease, when you want to go backward, you know, the for off loop only goes forward. It only goes forward. It goes towards the end of the array. But this one can go backward. You can also go backward here. That's what I was saying the other time. Um minus minus. Let's imagine fruit dot length. Okay, let's even do it. Let's imagine fruit dot length. I will now say whenever I is greater than or equal to 0, you see to start from the back. And you see it's starting from orange instead of apple. Do you get what are but something is consoling somewhere? Okay, let's just see brother. I'm coming. I-90. Oh yeah. Can you see? Because we are saying less than or equal to zero. That's why it is starting with an error. Oh wait, what am I getting wrong here? Oh, we were meant to start from the last index, not the element itself, not the length itself. Do you understand? That's why we are subtracting one. Because if we should start, it's just like um completing the looping through the array and ending it on the length of the array. What we're trying to do here, no problem. Here we're increasing, we're doing an increment here, and we're saying whenever it is less than fruit dot length. You remember when we said when we did whenever it was less than or equal to fruit dot length, so it's going to throw like an error at the end of it saying like this doesn't exist. You understand? Which was for the increment. The same also exists on the decrement. When we are decreasing, so we also have to start from the last item on the array, just as we have to stop on the last item on the array, which is when it is less than. I don't know if you get me.